In our comparison this week, we have the Hyundai Palisade and the Kia Telluride, the Korean cousins. Battle it out.
These are immensely popular vehicles ever since they hit the marketplace a couple of years ago, so let's get into it.
Both the Palisade and the Telluride come with a 3.8-liter V6 engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission, producing 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque.
Both of these large SUVs have a smooth ride and plenty of power for climbing hills and passing other vehicles on the highway. The engine is refined under hard acceleration. The cabin is quiet, and considering how large these vehicles are, they never feel too big or lack power. They're both easy to maneuver in city traffic and have quite enjoyable driving dynamics. So Hyundai and Kia have done something quite different here. They have a larger displacement engine, 3.8 liters, versus most competitors' 3.5 liters, and in some cases a 4-cylinder hybrid like the Highlander. But they have a high compression engine, but it runs on regular gas. It runs on the Atkinson cycle, which often delivers mixed results, but it's a high compression engine, and they changed the cylinder head to affect fuel economy and good power, and I think with good results.
I really like how both of these handle. Whether you're in the city or you're on the highway, there is never a lack of power, and they are just so easy to get around in. They don't feel like they're as big as they are. Although the Palisade and Telluride have the same platform, they look quite different. The Palisade has a very stately exterior design with a large chrome grille and chrome accents throughout. The top trim gets a calligraphy exclusive front grille and bumper. There are 4 trims to choose from. The base model comes standard with front-wheel drive, and all other trims come with all-wheel drive in Canada. In the US, all trims come standard with front-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive is optional, except for the calligraphy trim. All-wheel drive is standard.
So there is a base model front-wheel drive Palisade sold in Canada, really to get people excited about the price and come into the dealership. It comes standard with smaller 18-inch wheels, a temporary spare tire. However, it does come with standard LED headlamps and LED daytime running lights. Now, if you go one up from the base, which is called Preferred, that's where all-wheel drive starts in Canada. Included in that package is blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert, also a power tilt and sliding sunroof. If you get the top calligraphy trim in Canada, you get the dual panel sunroof and LED tail lamps.
The Telluride has a rugged and boxy exterior style with a chrome grille and chrome accents. The night sky trim we tested comes with a black grille, black accents throughout, and black roof rails along with 20-inch black alloy wheels. There are 4 trims to choose from. All-wheel drive in Canada. In the US, front-wheel drive is standard with optional all-wheel drive.
The base model Telluride gets 18-inch wheels, a temporary spare tire, LED headlamps, and LED daytime running lights. You also get fog lights, a sunroof, and a smart power liftgate. Now, one thing to consider if you're comparing Telluride and Palisade base all-wheel drive models, the base Palisade gets 20-inch wheels. However, the Telluride base all-wheel drive gets 18-inch wheels.
Now, you mentioned the 20-inch versus 18-inch wheels. Another interesting thing is the base model Palisade does not come with blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. You have to go up to the all-wheel drive Palisade to get it, whereas the Telluride comes with these features.
Okay, one thing about 18-inch wheels versus 20-inch wheels. I love the look of 20-inch wheels, but it really depends on where you live. So if you live somewhere that has a lot of really bad roads, Quebec, and potholes, places in the northeast of the US, for example, a smaller wheel is going to be beneficial for ride comfort and for winter driving conditions, putting winter tires on there. So think about that.
And another thing is that they're less expensive.
Yeah, well, a lot less expensive.
Yeah.
So if you wanted a base model all-wheel drive Telluride, get it with the 18-inch wheels. You can always buy wheels later.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
If you want bigger wheels.
Yeah, but it is a nice thing to point out that the Palisade does get the bigger wheels if you're interested for around the same price point.
Now, we're starting to see a bit of a differentiation in packaging between Telluride and Palisade.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning more towards Telluride at the end, and I think you'll see why. The dual panel sunroof, as you mentioned, is on one up from the base with Telluride. You got to go to the top calligraphy on Palisade to get that feature.
Yeah, like you almost wonder, are they trying to elevate the Hyundai a bit from the Kia, you know, saying, hey, if you get the top trim, this is what you get on the Palisade?
Yeah.
I don't know. You definitely get more of those features in the Telluride for not much more.
We're going to get to the price, we're going to get to the fuel economy, we're going to get to the interior features, all coming up in just a second. Right now, we'd love for you to subscribe, and also the longer versions of the reviews are linked below. And we do an Instagram shout out. Andrea does the same comparison the day before the videos drop, and then we read out some of your comments.
I like the exterior of the Palisade better, but the Telluride interior is awesome.
Telluride is the best looking vehicle I've seen in a long time. Blacked out edition is incredibly well done for a factory version.
Palisade because I love the luxury vibe. I don't like how much of the Telluride leans towards blacked out and rugged.
I have a 2020 Kia Telluride. I love it. A very awesome little hot rod.
Palisade. Kia will look dated in a few years. The interior is also a step up. The Palisade offers an elegant interior and comes standard with an 8-inch touchscreen, a 3.5-inch instrument cluster, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, heated steering wheel, stain-resistant cloth seats, heated front seats, 8-passenger seating, sliding second row, and one-touch second row seat slide to third row access. The preferred trim, one up from the base model, has a lot of value. You get an 8-way power driver seat memory, heated rear seats, a 7-inch multi-information display, and an 8-inch touchscreen.
Now, the more expensive luxury trim is where you get the larger 10.25-inch touchscreen, ventilated front seats, smart liftgate, a Harman Kardon sound system, and power third-row folding seats. The top model is called Calligraphy. That's where you get a head-up display, a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, wireless charger, ventilated rear seats, the more expensive and luxurious Napa leather, and captain's chairs. All Palisade trims come with 8 seats except the Calligraphy. It gets 7-passenger seating with those captain's chairs. However, you can opt for 7-passenger seating on the luxury trim.
The Telluride comes with an impressive amount of standard features, like the larger 10.25-inch touchscreen, a 3.5-inch instrument cluster, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, 8-passenger seating, synthetic leather seats, heated front seats, a leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, and interior wood grain trim. One up from the base model will get you ventilated front seats, driver seat memory, a Harman Kardon stereo system, and a 7-inch instrument cluster. The top 2 trims come standard with heated and ventilated second row seats, 7-passenger seating, leather seats, and a head-up display.
There's a couple of hits and misses on both sides here, Andrea. But I think for the things that people really want, Telluride is going to win again. You get the big screen on all trims.
Yeah, which is amazing.
You get wireless charging on all trims, right?
Yeah, like why? Why so different between the two?
But the thing is interesting is on the Palisade side, you got to go like to the very top to get that stuff.
I know.
A couple of misses. On the Palisade, you get the digital instrument cluster, which you love. I don't really care about that.
I love it. I think that the Telluride needs to get it. We just saw it in the Kia Carnival. Come on, it's going in this Telluride. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
And maybe one day, but I'm not sold on digital instrument clusters because my belief is you set it and you forget it. Like you're not changing it all the time. You set it up the way you like. It's just the stuff you read.
I think that people are more tech oriented now, and I think that they really like this kind of stuff.
That's Andrea saying I'm a dinosaur. Now the other one is the power folding third row.
Yeah.
Not available in Telluride, but you get it in Palisade. Same thing. How often do you actually fold and tumble those?
Yes, and from what I saw when we had the Palisade, it's quite slow.
So old and slow. Now you're describing me.
No, so I think maybe you would be okay with the Telluride and not having the folding seats. I don't know.
Now I want to get into the design of these two. I like the Telluride center console much more. It's got the grab handles, just like our Cayenne that we're sitting in here.
Yeah.
It's got a proper shifter. and it looks more conventional SUV. The Palisade is what?
The Palisade has the button shifter, which is typical of Hyundai. That's where they're moving. But I do like the elegance of the Palisade and the clean center console, which you get with the button shifter. So there's some perks to both. The Hyundai Palisade numbers fall a bit short when it comes to cargo space. The Palisade offers 18 cubic feet behind the third row. The Telluride has 21.2 cubic feet. Cargo capacity behind the front row of the Palisade is 86.4 cubic feet, and the Telluride 86.7. Behind the second row, the Palisade offers 45.8 cubic feet, and the Telluride 46.
Either way, Andrea, these things are huge inside. Like, I climbed in and out of all three rows, and there is not a lack of space.
No, not at all. And a good comfort level. In the second row, we had the captain's chairs, not the bench seat. But if you need the extra space, get the bench seat. And also the third row is fairly comfortable.
We've driven the competitors, the Highlander, the Explorer, and so on. These are really good. I would say the only vehicle that might have more space, we haven't crunched all the numbers, is maybe the Volkswagen Atlas, but that's about it. So if you want big, these are your girls.
The Palisade starts at just over $39,000, and the top calligraphy trim is $54,500.
The Telluride has a higher starting price in the Canadian market, but it does come standard with all-wheel drive at just over $46,000. The SX Limited Night Sky, the top trim, is $55,500. However, there is a base model front-wheel drive in the U.S. for $32,000.
Here are more vital stats. On the Palisade, J.D. Power gives the 2021 Palisade an overall score of 77 out of 100, and for quality and reliability, 72 out of 100. Where it shines is in driving experience, 88 out of 100. CarEdge states the Palisade will retain 51% of its value after 5 years.
Here are the vital stats on the Telluride. J.D. Power gives the 2021 Telluride an overall score of 83 out of 100. For quality and reliability, 82 out of 100. 90, however, for driving experience. CarEdge states that the Telluride will retain 48% of its value after 5 years.
Here's the fuel economy. The Telluride all-wheel drive gets 12.6 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9.7 on the highway. That's 19 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway.
The Palisade all-wheel drive gets 12.3 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 9.6 on the highway. That's 19 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway. There's a slight edge there in fuel economy for the Palisade. I think it's maybe because it's not as boxy.
Maybe. It's very strange. We must have looked at these numbers over and over thinking, how is that possible? But the miles per gallon are the same.
Yeah, because we do point, out of 10, right?
Yeah.
They just round it up to the closest mile per gallon. So I'm starting to see a trend here, Andrea. You know me, I just think the Telluride's better. I like the look of it better.
Yeah.
I like the shifter. I like the center console. I like the big screen on every trim. I think it just comes with more of the stuff that people want.
One thing that I like about the Telluride is that you don't have to just have the chrome accents throughout. I do like that, but there's another option. You can get it all murdered out if you want, all in black. Really good Range Rover vibe to it. I mean, that's pretty good company to be in.
So a colleague of ours that I do some work with, when he was shopping for a vehicle, this was about a year and a half ago, his wife wanted a new SUV.
Yeah.
And he said to me, what should I get? I said, just go and drive the Korean cousins. And she drove the Telluride and she drove the Palisade. But for her, she loved the luxury vibe. They got the top model with all the quilting, the decadent looking center console and the chrome on the outside. That spoke to her luxury side.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. The Palisade has a real elegant look to it. It's very stately looking. I can understand that completely. I kind of go to the other side with the Telluride and the rugged look and the 20-inch
and the murdered out, Andrea.
Murdered out, all in black.
See,
hot.
I don't like that at all. I like the Telluride's looks, But when you see it in black, everything just disappears. There's no defining features on the car.
Yeah.
I really like it in the bluey gray with the bright wheels and the chrome. I think it really stands out. That's just a personal taste.
It doesn't matter what color you choose. In my opinion, they both look great. They're both good vehicles. And aren't we lucky with all the choices that we have today?
I have to say congratulations to Kia and Hyundai for absolutely hitting it out of the park. In my opinion, these two vehicles are the ones to beat in this class. They really don't have any competition in my opinion.
No, and you get that space that you want. It's a great people hauler. And the comfort level is there, and they both look so stylish.
Below, we have a link to the longer videos for both of these videos, so please watch those when you have a moment.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe, and you have to hit the notification bell. And when will we see them, Andrea?
We'll see them again next week.
You didn't like my bell?
I did. It always makes me laugh. I don't know why when you do that. I'm always laughing. Some of the behind the footage scenes of me laughing at Zach. His bell.
Basically, it's Andrea just laughing at me.
Yeah.
And also Motormouth_Andrea for Instagram. And when will we see them, Andrea?
We'll see you again next week. Thanks so much for watching.